Hey yo, Bobby, put it in the air. That's what my co-workers and I say to Bobby, the local crackhead that lingered outside our McDonald's, outstretched hand, reaching for change, peacoat, rum stain, multiple entrances for his feet to enter into his shoes. Cracks wore his souls out, and crack wore his soul out. Midnight black beanie tilted to the side, clutching an archipelago of hair, surrounded by a sea of dry scalp. He smiled a big Cadillac smile and had just enough teeth to tear through some applesauce. Hey yo, Bobby, put it in the air. And with his big brown sunken-in eyes, he'd look left and he'd look right, and he'd put a shaky hand into his rum-stained peacoat, and he'd take out his two-finger snub nose. It was missing a fingernail, and he called it righty. And as soon as he drew it, he erased it from sight and returned it to the warm embraces of the alleyways and shadows that he called home. He was momentary entertainment for burger-flipping boys and bubblegum-chewing McGriddle girls. His antics were the pinprick that would stick into the fingertips of the hands of a clock and push our shifts faster than they usually went. Too bad our laughs couldn't do the same for Bobby, though. Permanently stuck between a crack rock and a hard place. Hey yo, Bobby, put it in the air. And the same arm that he would shoot up with was the same arm that he would shoot up in. And his eyes would roll back, and he would get visions of his Vietnam memories. Pushing through jungle so lush would leave Bobby to ask, how did they ever sneak guns into Eden? Men with hard shell exteriors were torn by mortar rounds faster than cheap paper with perforated edges. Mosquitoes sucked blood by the gallon, and anxiety sucked the souls out of men every second. Combat boots, and his heart wore Adidas track shoes to keep from racing, pacing, and nearly popping on a few occasions. Lighting up the darkness of nights, Bobby would send bullets catapulting down barrels and finding homes in the cold torsos and limbs of people he was taught was the enemy. Men who would never call him nigger or junkie or crackhead or burnout. They never even called him Bobby. See, he wasn't their concern. Bobby was just your modern day mouse, just point and click. And just like the mouse, he never got much credit, returning home to a country that despised him. And on his way home, he flew coach, and on the underside of the plane, his brothers flew in coffins. And he'd stare out the window and daydream about the one time he was saved by ambush with his flare gun. Bobby had put 2 in the air, but it wasn't enough to stop the carnage. See, that night, Bobby stayed in Vietnam, and his shell came back home to Brooklyn. So every now and then, when he gets the request, he takes his shaky hand and he puts it in his peacoat and takes out his 2-finger stub nose, and hopes that the Bobby he left behind can keep his ears open and return home. Hey yo, Bobby! Hey yo, Bobby, I wrote this poem for you.